Hey guys. Hey Stuart and Adam, Mark, Tea and Biscuits, William Henry, good morning. Paul House, good morning. Bill, good day. Canberra Dog Farts, good day. Mark Osborne, good day. Peter Noddle, hello. I've stuffed this up again. Here we go. I think that if I turn this over here like this, because I've done something stupid, we're sideways, aren't we? And that's not particularly helpful. Is that correct? Are we sideways? The spill Bill's beer. Yes, we're in portrait mode. Not sure why that is. It's a bit weird. David, g'day. Anyway, not sure how I stuffed that up. We're going to have to put up in portrait mode. Sorry about that. Anyway, it's a bit of a pain in there. Whatchamacallit. What's been happening with everyone? What's been happening with me? I had this Land Rover out because we were talking radio controlled cars and plastic models and stuff on Discord. And I got this out because it had some, well, it was all going. I thought I'd see if it worked. Broke a constant velocity joint, which is a Land Rover problem, broken axle, which was the same as this one, which has got 4 screws in it. Have a look. I think you can probably see that. This is the old version. I've downloaded the new version, which is just a ball joint with no screws, which just seems a lot stronger, to be honest. Where is it? There. Sorry about the white. It's going to blow everyone's screen out. That's a bit useless. There we go. That's better if I move around here out the light. So printed 2 of them, which actually seem a whole lot better than the 2 that we got. I'm looking at these and thinking these might be a really good idea, something like this, for the launch drive. This is really quite a nice thing. Sorry, this is a bit of a nuisance. Anyway, thinking about that, it's actual ball joint, and I think it's probably fairly strong, to be honest. I may not sure why that says wheel on there. It says wheel on there. May have a think about this. I don't think 3D printing's the answer, but if we could make them out of metal, that'd be very nice with a ball like that. I dropped that one. So this works pretty well. There's some other little issues here after a few months constant driving. So, a few months messing around with it and sitting for a while. Yeah, dog fault, sorry. So there's some issues with this server. I don't know whether it's clapped out or whether I think it's the connection or whether it's actually a ball connection. I can't remember. Anyway. So I actually got that turned on, I think. So to give you some idea. I've just put this back together, really. Journeyman Randy, g'day. You can tell I just put it back together because that wheel is non-straight. Probably need to fix that. I also need to set the travel on the servo. Anyway, we got wobbly wheels. Better fix that at some point. Anyway, that's noisy enough. I'll turn that off. Don't know why this is wobbly, except that it's not on straight. I'll have to fix that at some point. So anyway, Land Rover wheels. This is my 3D sets. Land Rover 110. I don't know. This is the one I did a while ago. The axles are pretty much how they were. There's some serious work involved in this. There's a lot of 3D printing and 1,000 screws, as you can see. I think this is probably just not on properly. That's all. That's why it's wobbly. I think if I fixed it, we'd fix it. The winch isn't connected yet. We've got a winch, which has got a motor in it and all that stuff. Never been hooked up. The wires come out here somewhere. Never ever. There's the wires off it. Never connected them up, ever. Probably should do that at some point. I'm going to put this down. Give me a second and we'll turn it over. We'll put it sort of there. There we go. So this is I'm going to turn that off. Switch is in the console. So there we go. I've also got lights and stuff for it, which has never ever happened. It might be fun at some point to rebuild it, but it's a bit of a pull down and rebuild job, and my electronics knowledge is not right there with it. It's just a brushed motor. It's not particularly complicated. But this Land Rover's had quite a few upgrades and things. There's now differentials and all sorts of things, and a belt drive gearbox, which is much quieter, all those sort of things. Wouldn't mind getting in and messing with this when I've got time, but it's a good fun job. Might put that other universal in, or another CV joint on the other side, and get it all up and running before I do too many more laps with it. But good fun project. That's something that I've been doing, and we talked about on Discord, so I thought everyone might like a look. Mesh in the windows. If you do that, fridge, your snatch strap doesn't come through the window. It's not a bad idea. Anyone who's listening who might want to know that sort of information, that's kind of a really good idea. Just this one's got mesh in it too. Stops that. Batteries in the back, and there's sort of a false floor, like all good camper Land Rovers. And a ladder, which is neither use nor ornament really. This wire sticking out. There we go. The slippery slope, Bill. Actually, it's been on its side because the mirrors are all folded in. Look at that. It's actually got real mirrors. I can't remember how I did that or what the story was, but it's got real mirrors. Maybe it's reflective tape. I can't remember what I did with that. But yeah, the mirrors actually work. So that's where we're at. That's the 3D sets Land Rover. With some mods, they didn't actually put Land Rover on the 3D sets one because of copyright, so I downloaded these, or I did the artwork or something. Did these. Might have to do another one because we're missing one. One's been pulled off. Wonder where that went. Anyway, it's true Land Rover fashion. There's one mud flap missing. And there's no front mud flaps on it yet either. I'm not sure. I was thinking that the other day that it needs something on it, but anyway, it hasn't happened yet. This was actually painted because this was actually just printed. You can see it was printed with all the actual leftovers on the reels. Take care, Paul. So I did that and then painted it. And the interior is all painted because I couldn't find a nice brown. Filament. So if we look, it's also left-hand drive, which is a bit strange. I did download a right-hand drive dashboard, and then when I went to put it in, I kind of printed the wrong one. So it's very cool. I'm sort of really impressed with this model. If anyone wants a 3D printing job that's really quite good, build one of these because this was bomb-proof and pretty awesome. It's got quite a few. It's got like protection bars on the side, which aren't part of the original. These screens aren't part of the original. I don't think the inch pipe pull bar is part of the original, but it looks the part. They're all accessory packs. There was 2 or 3 different styles of wheels and different suspension kits, different gearbox kits now, and different differential kits. Could have made it with like bigger panels on the guards here. Could have put this spare wheel on the front. I ended up doing a job on this. See, it's got checker plate floor. Can you actually see that without the checker plate floor? And it's got a drop down with a bar across the top, drop down front panel there. So that's a mod. How long did it take? Geez. I reckon the 3D printer went for probably a month. Seriously, a month full time. And there's hundreds and hundreds of 2mm and 3mm screws in it. See all these 2mm Umbracos here. But when you look at it, there's a lot of bits. Like it's got proper door catches are all screwed in place, and this piece here, so this still actually shuts and clicks in place. These lights are all separate. They're all sort of half clear. The window frames are like 3 pieces. There's a crap load of work in it. If you want a 3D printing job, go for it, but you want a good 3D printer too. And this was a sort of acid test for mine. But there's also, honestly, if you put screws, radio equipment, and filament, and tyres, and spring, suspension, and motor, and electrics, it's probably a $400 model, to be honest. Thinking, g'day, how are you? Like, seriously, it's a pretty serious sort of a control car, so I'd want to be good. But there we go. It comes in its own box, which is actually down here, which is a proper 3D sets box. I'm going to put it all back in there in a second, just out of the way. It's got a controller. Give me a second to put this down and I'll put it back in the box. So this has got, if we have a look, can we see that? It's got proper wheel supports and everything fits in there nicely. And then this slides down the front. And it's supposed to have a shoulder carrying strap that hasn't ever been fitted to it. So, that's the 3D Sets Landy. If you're looking for a project with your 3D printing and you've got nothing else to do and nothing to spend your money on, that's the go. Some of their later stuff's even better. Like even some of their cars is really nice, and I'd like to get into it. And then if you want to make two, you can buy like a set of drawings and files and stuff for a trailer to tow one of them, etc. So that's what I did. One of the things I did this weekend, that was a pretty quiet sort of a hour or two I spent on that. Copper pipe arrived. Got some copper pipe. Now, this is a pretty interrupted steam because I'm going to need to go to the bathroom now. Sorry guys, I'm going to put you down again. Talk amongst yourselves. I won't be very long. But yeah, I must be tired or sleepy or a bit run down or something because this seems to be an ongoing thing. Give me a second. Here we go. What did I miss? What did I miss? I'm back. It's late just across the hallway. You always say that, and it would take 15 minutes. You still say that. So anyway, copper pipe for the 8 copper pipe arrived because I couldn't find any. And while I'm at it, there was a few other bits. I ordered some drills that were broken, and of course one of them comes as a long series and the rest are all stubby, so the stubby ones all fit in my number drill set, but that one doesn't. So whether I chop it off so it goes in, I'll probably do. That's what I usually do, just chop that much off the end of it, Dremel job. And then I've got a full set of number drills again. Very rarely use the longer one. What else? Oh, some boxes of bag of screws arrived too. Where are they? There. Same place. EJ Winter. There's 6BA, I think. Brass screws. Well, that's pretty exciting, Nigel. We don't want to interrupt that. It means there's probably a new video on its way, and that's very exciting. So the screws were 4 because I never had one. The choke assembly on the bottom of the mixer. Bizarrely, that moves with the choke, which I guess doesn't matter, but anyway. The pipe goes in that hole. It's going to need a reamer through it because I could only find a 3mm drill or 3mm end mill when I put it in there on an angle. And if I put a 3mm reamer through, 1/8 reamer in it, it would clean out. Then that pipe will fit, and I can put a little bend in it and do a soft solder piece in there. So that's about all the progress. Andy's back. That's about all the progress I found. I've got this bit of brass. I think I showed you that, which is for making one of these at some point, probably in 2 pieces, and then fabricate it up with a silver solder joint, something like that. But that's the next piece, I think. That's what supports the rocker. Because I don't have enough hands. That just goes on the front, and then the little rocker with a pin in it goes on there like that. So that rocker pattern's starting to look somewhere near. I could probably put another couple of coats of paint on it, get it a little bit more oversized, because I didn't put any shrinkage on these little bits, and a couple of coats of filler won't hurt. So on that little engine, that's all the progress that there was this week. That's it, folks. Sorry. Got some bits. I put that screw in, found some copper tube, found a bit of brass. That was about it. Not exciting. Some actual work needs to be done, right? This is very early days, like crazy early days, this one. So made a start on this one and the other one, which is, yeah, crazy early days. You're going to see hopefully by the end of next week, or by next week's stream, you're going to see quite a lot of changes here. But doesn't look anything like that yet. but we're going to get there. Very early days. There we go. Jambo, g'day. This is a little petrol engine. It's a hit and miss. Petrol engine. It's the Paul Brish little brother. So it's a work in progress, absolutely. But we are making some progress again after leaving it for quite some time. This one's a wind engine. This is going to be a windmill. Got 2 of these A-frame boards to do for a startup antique shop. Yeah, Robotech or Steampunk was sort of more what I was aiming for, and by the time we get the signboard on it and some letters and things, I think it's Steampunk's going to cover it. But it's a very unorthodox windmill. I think that'll be fairly nice, actually. So we'll get on to that one. There is, if we have a look, another board there leaning up against the A-frame, because we've got panels here everywhere. Like, seriously. This one's going to have a steam-powered blimp or airship on it in a similar style. I've got some good ideas with that, and I've got to go ahead and do it. So I put some background colour on it, but I haven't really made a lot of effort. That's the A-frame there for them. It just folds out there and then they slide in the top. So good A-frame. They'll end up something like that, probably a little bit darker and a little bit more realistic than the 30s travel poster look I was going for. The next one, this panel will give a bit more steampunk feel. Tell Ross I'd be pretty happy to do that. I'd be pretty excited about that, actually. Did this too, because I haven't ever put anything on this side of my sign box in the front, right? And the blue that I had on it's just an aerosol pack that I sprayed it with. Thanks, Dad. I'll come and do your truck at some point. Promise. So I rubbed it back so it's looked a bit rustic, and then I stuck some letters on it pretty quick. Trouble is with doing trucks for you, Dad, is that you end up with other ideas of things we could do in the meantime. I need to get down there and do it. So, anyway, this is a job I did 10 minutes on Tuesday afternoon. Not a big job, really. You get the doors ready. I'm going to get into the Land Rover. That's easy. You tell me what I need to get the doors ready, and I'll get into the Land Rover. This box is getting a bit heavy because it's full of enamel paint. This is another job that I sort of half did, and it was a bit ordinary. So I've done it again, and I'm really pleased with this one. So that's a definite improvement. I really like that. So really like that. So that's one end of the box I've just done. And why enamel over faster drying equipment acrylic? It's a really good question. Enamel's quite cheap. If you can buy a decent automotive acrylic, which you can, dances with the hard parks. Sorry. No one's that destructive that I've ever met. I mean, and there are people that are, but I'd like to think Dan isn't one of them. There are some good stuff. House of Colour have a really nice synthetic acrylic that dries nice, and there's some really nice 2-pack stuff. But enamel's kind of good because it mixes reliably, and you know what colour you're going to get, and your consistency in your dry time doesn't change with different colours and all that. And it just goes on nice, and I've got a huge range of colours too. That's the other thing. That's why this is done. This is a bit of a mess because I bundled it all in here last night after I put this door back on. Yeah, this top surface gets a beating, but this box, you've got to remember that this paint box is really only for when it gets knocked about, you repaint one of the sides. That's how it works. Lots of paint. There's a leaky tin of brush oil there. I don't know why. The brush oil tin needs redoing as well. House of Colour have a really nice candy apple 2-pack. They do, yes. They've got some really nice colours all up. But getting it's hard, and I've got to go into Brisbane. I've sort of started using this stuff, which is a synthetic enamel. I kind of like this. Right? Since I started painting the roll, I've used this for lettering for a little while now. Before that even. And that's the other thing too, that if you put acrylic on some rubber back paint jobs on trucks and things and it's enamel, it just lifts it all off. Take care, Nigel. Look forward to the video. Subscribe to Nigel's channel at Go Create Hobby Machine Shop. He's making an awesome die filer. This one's, poor things had a hard life, but there's only not much left in that tin. They have some really nice colours. This is a good primer. It comes in 3 different colours. That's good stuff. That goes forever. Thins down, rubs back nice. Good stuff. I managed to get half of it down inside the tin. I've had this tin opening probably, like, this one I've had open probably 3 times, right? There's not a lot left. Oh, well, there's about this much gone out of it probably by the way I do it. This one is a really popular colour and I use this a lot. And every now and again you just don't thoughtlessly tip half a tin into a paint tray and you end up with a mess. But that tin's nearly finished, so we're not too stressed about that. Some of these don't get used a lot. But there's some really nice colours. I think they're red from a signwriting point of view. Their red is probably a little bit, wants a little bit of white in it to cover, put it that way. Thanks, Peter. But one shot's hard to get, and you buy it in quantities that are cost effective, and then you find that it gets a skin on it before you use it. So I'm a bit inclined to this is ivory, I think they call it. It's a modified pure polyurethane is what it is. It's not really an enamel. It's terps based really, but modified polyurethane. So it's nice. This is a nice paint. I think they call this ivory. No, this is sandstone. This one, ivory is slightly different. This is sandstone. But there's a good range of colours. There's nearly as many, well, there's half as many colours as one shop probably. This one's port wine. It's nice heritage colours. But they're good heritage colours that you use all the time, and they mix nice, which I really like. There's a really nice dark blue. There's probably a sticker on it here somewhere. Pacific blue, they call this. There's about 3 or 4 different blues, and they're the ones I use a lot because I like blue. But anyway, that's basically that sandstone with a bit of talcum powder thrown onto it. Hey, Kevin. Bit of talcum powder thrown on it to make it look old. So it might end up with a coat of clear on top. This is the yellow and some brown that I sort of mixed up out of something. It's a bit of ivory and a bit of sandstone and a bit of, I don't know, a bit of orange and a bit of something else. Anyway. And there's a blended, I don't know if you can see that because I don't really feel like I want to move this box, but I could. We could make an effort. Try not to make this a sign painting channel, but I don't know what happened there. We'll put the box over here on top of the radio controlled car. That didn't sound like a good idea after that. But anyway, it's standing there. This has got a blended circle in the middle of it, which is kind of nice. I really like this actually. I might put a border like this on when I do a little bit more on the van. Kind of like that. So, I'm sure everyone's seen the other side of the box. I'll sit this here somewhere so that it doesn't sort of support it. There's the other side there. So yeah, this is what I did this week's stream. But anyway, for now, I like this, and this is sort of big on my card and my shirts and stuff, so kind of like that. But the top, I don't know what to do about that because it gets mocked about, and it's had probably 4 coats of paint since that was painted, probably. No, it's had a couple anyway. It's a different colour to it was. And I've repainted this end with some decent enamel and put that on there, and you can see the overlay there. And I just rub the back, and I'm going to probably just clear that. This one says always hand paint. So, brass corners. Yeah, they are cool. They're at Bunnings, so if you do bend one of them, you can actually get one. But there's 2 missing because I was messing around on the other side here the other day. That's what I did last night when the dark started to come in. There's this panel here too, which is kind of the sort of the dairy cow in the room, actually. This colour, I don't know if anyone's ever worked on a dairy farm. I'll get out of the way so you can actually see it. I don't know if you can. It's quite pleasant in here. Outside in the light, it's a bit brighter. But dairy farms in the winter, in the silage season, tend to be that colour. generally, and everyone who works there tends to be that colour. So that gives you some idea of that colour. It's giving me flashbacks. But in the hand, this is a really nice olive green. Tip, if anyone wants to mix olive green, without looking it up, what colours do you mix to mix olive green? Come on, quiz time. It's like I can smell the colour too. Quiz time. So far, everyone's wrong. Okay, olive green is mixed with olive green is mixed yellow and black. If you mix yellow and black, you end up with olive green. There you go. That was something that I found out that I didn't know, but I've never mixed olive green before, so that's a new piece of knowledge for me. Mix a little bit of black into some yellow, and that's what you end up with. Anyway, this is another job I'm working on. Give you a look at the picture. Anyway, I don't know if you can actually see this. We're going to try. There we go. That's what's happening with that. So we're putting olive green and black and cream and sandstone and off-white and red and stuff into that, and we're going to end up with a Lucas British Made Electrical. Best of everything. Send for a pocket catalogue. Trademark Lucas with the torch and the line and the crown and wreath and stuff. So that's the idea there. That's what we're going to end up with. It's not a very easy sign to paint or to lay out because it's a bit challenging. But yeah, olive drab is a flat green, that's right. No, I mean, if you can flatten that off too with a bit of talc or something in it, but this is glossy so far because I want a really nice surface to put the rest on. And the better you prep the surface to start with, blue and yellow makes green, but it makes a different green. Blue and yellow gives you sort of green. Equal blue and equal yellow gives you pretty much that colour. So that's a work in progress. I think I've got about the end of September deadline on that. These are before then, I think. In the minute I can get both these jobs out, and there's some money waiting probably. This one was a panel swap. I guess everyone's seen that. Gosh, I've got some. Stuck away in the corner. I haven't actually heard from the guy I was supposed to swap with. So probably I'm keeping that. Probably hang it on a wall somewhere because I really like it actually. It's not terrible. Good sign, pub sign. Bill's probably right. It's not bad. I'm not a big fan of German green. Whatever anyone says, it's okay. In other sign painting, sort of, this had the final coat of varnish as well this week. So that's another job I did. That's ready to go out. You stand back far enough, you might actually be able to see that. Anyone who wants to buy someone a quirky Christmas present that they didn't know what they were going to get them, that one's for sale. I think it's pretty awesome. No buyers yet, but I've had a few sort of queries. I really like that. It's a bit of a sampler sort of thing. It's fun on anyone's wall because it doesn't actually mean anything. Yellow is a terrible colour to paint anything because it doesn't cover. But anyway, that's just a shameless sort of plug for that one. Hit me up if you want that. I will post it anywhere in the world, I reckon. You get it in time for Christmas still if you want it. So that's what we've done. Now, in other news, wires come for this. Which are the cob lights. This is another ongoing thing as we go. Right. Got two of these which come on the roller, which are on the roller. If we weren't in portrait mode, that's right. Thing Dances with Aardvarks, I thought it was funny. It amuses me, but I'm easily amused. Got two of these, which are replicas made by Hetherington's in the UK, which are really nice lamps and way out of my price range, but they come with a roller. Now, they've got a little tin burner in them, like a spirit burner, which we've probably already seen. I thought it was here on the bench somewhere, and it may have been. There we go. It is here on the bench. Right, just for comparison size. This is what they got, which is a pretty good burner, but smoky and miserable and goes out and doesn't stay the right height and goes out of focus and stuff. So, found these, which are little 3-watt cob LEDs. Not so much run at night, but it's nice to put them on if you go to the pub after tea, or very nice to have them running when all the other lights are on, so that people don't back into the roller. Tinker, send me an email. So this is about the same, pretty much the same. It might be a fraction brighter than the lamp, but these are pretty good. Now, they're 12 volt. And what I did, and the reason, I'm going to put you all down again. I'm sorry because I'm hopeless with this. Not real good with this. Give me a second. I'm putting you down on top of the hammer. Getting there. I'm here. This is not as easy as I thought it might have been. It was a really good theory. And probably not one that was particularly good. But there we go. The reason I got this lithium LiPo battery out with the HDPE, I think that hammer. The reason I got the Land Rover out with this battery is because I wanted to see how this worked, because this is an 11.1 volt battery. Right? And it's a bit ordinary, to be honest. Especially with only one hand, because I'm just not organised. There you go. So it's a nice yellow lamp. And if we wanted to darken this room out, might actually see what it's like. Right, so that's sort of what we got, which is not terrible really. That's about as nice as if we focus this a bit by lifting this up to the right spot. It's actually pretty good. Sort of cheery, nice. Are you seeing that? Anyway. So we'll turn the lights back on, but there we go, that might do. So that's the idea. They're going to have like a regulator board in them and a 14 volt LiPo with some sort of charger. So we're going to have some decent, someone want to do the math how long a 3 amp battery will last on a 1500 mAh, 1.5 amp hour. I think the LiPos I was getting are going to be 3 amp hour, so they should last an hour. 12 volt at 3 volts, 4 amps. 3/4 of an hour, something like that. They'll be all right. But they're a lot better than adjusting those stupid little lamps every 10 minutes and having them sort up and having to pull them out and adjust wicks and things and have them shake out on the road and stuff like that, because it all happens. So There we go. Yeah, I saw that. We're going to run out of wall space before we know where we are. So that's the theory with that. They're going to be nice, and one for the back as well. And then I've got quite an assortment of Public Works Department lamps, the red ones. I'll probably restore all them up to this sort of level and put one in each for like barricade lamp at a show or something. What we need, Tim, because you need one exactly the same, right? And this is a good thing to be making if you've got a printer. Something that says lean, not clean. Oh, clean, not lean is what you actually got to say. So clean, not lean is a really good thing to have on your engine, because we all need that reminder. So one coming. I've got another one of these 600 by 900 panels like that one, and I want to do like a Fowler steamroller information board on that, but it hasn't happened yet, and it's probably going to be as fancy as that when I do it. So, thoughts. Anyway, I reckon these are probably going to be pretty good. I reckon this will only last about 20 minutes, half hour on this. 4 amps out of a 1.5 amp hour battery is going to be 20 minutes. But I think that potentially if we make a little cast box in here that slides in the same as the lamp, with the battery in the bottom and a board in it with the regulator board, and give us some idea what's left in them and how much charge and stuff and all that stuff. And so you can wind them backwards and forwards and stuff. With the lamp sticking out the top at the right height with some sort of adjustable sort of a fitting. Raymond, it's a bit of a can of worms. I would rather not. I really don't think that I see it quite regularly, and yes, there's probably things you could do to make it work, but it's not original and I don't like it very nice. These I can charge during the day and put on at night, and we can get hours running while we're having tea. It's really nice. Or if we can wind them back to half strength, you get 2 hours winding. These are LEDs. I think they're pretty variable. So, I've got a 12-volt charger for these LiPos, so if that's what's going to happen, that's what's going to happen. Anyway, so they're all things that are going on in the shed. Yeah, these really want to be wound right down and then back up. And you put 9 amp hour batteries, that's probably an option too, something like that. I'm still buying batteries. I haven't actually lashed out and bought them. I've got globes. Got 6 globes, and I've got 6 slits of wire, like terminal sockets for them. Pinch this battery, but 9 amp hour would be really nice, but they take forever to charge too, and you've got to spend a week ramping them up and running them down to condition them properly so they last. All that stuff. Anyway, we're still looking into that, but that's another project that's sort of working. Sort of going ahead. Things we're actually doing. Like to get these sorted at some point. Probably like to get them sorted in time for Fridge's birthday. I believe Fridge is having a birthday. Don't know when it is. It's going to be a weekend. If anyone wants to come, book your tickets now. Hit him up. Hit Dan Shed up. I think he's having a birthday party. But it'd be nice to have these running by then. Because that's sort of a night event. Be Peel, g'day. Lead acid's probably an option. No, we don't need a road run into Graft tonight. Too much pressure, Dan. Too much pressure. I'm tired. I'm also tired and I'm broke. Need signs. Need sign writing work, everyone. That's what we need. Sign writing work. The things that need to be done on the roller before a road run into Grafton is exorbitant, and yeah, we'll see. Lead acid might be a battery. You just get on it and drive it. Yeah, it is fun. There's sort of, I've got to register it. We've got to cut firewood, and we've probably would like to do something with the front end first, and it needs cleaning, and I don't want to be that person, but there's about a month's work on weekends, every weekend, to get it to the stage where it can go on another road run, and I need the money, so I really need to work weekends. But the lipo, the reason we picked lipos, getting back to that, the reason we picked lipos rather than lead acid or anything else is that there's not a very big hole to put them in. They've got to fit in basically in that space. So, and I've measured up a lot of things, and these seem to be the answer, I think. Unless someone's got a better answers. Fire drive, drink it, fall down. Yeah. Must be nice to live in your sheltered little world. Anyway, also haven't got these cast, haven't got any other bits cast for the roller that I sort of had in mind. I've got a box of patterns here that could go up to the foundry, and I'm not going to get there this week. This weekend we've got termite inspection, which means everything's got to knock. Just think about this for a minute. Everything's got to come away from the walls. So a lot of this stuff's got to go outside. I'm trying to avoid hearing about the week you've had. I've had a pretty crappy week too. But anyway, I've only been at work one day. Anyway, end game is to give up the day job. If we're going to talk about that. Anyone who's left and listening and watching, and you've got 16 people, which is a bit crazy. But the end job is with some sort of planning to give up the day job as soon as I can, which could be another 6 months. But it'd be very nice to give up the day job and to have some solid income coming from sign painting. But if you walk home drunk on the back streets, the likelihood of being killed is a lot less likely. Dancing for Hardbacks, I thought about that. Honestly, I thought about that. Like, seriously, that was sort of the first thought before I got them out and measured them up. The first step I did when I measured these up. Right, was put rechargeable battery in there. Can't get the door shut, and measured up a heap of different brands. Couldn't get the door shut on any of them because that would be a really easy way to do that. Didn't happen. So that's not going to be a seriously thought about it, but not going to happen. So I wasn't joking, and I honestly thought that that would be the best way to do it, and absolutely it would. They'd make a really nice little unit if I could get something, even the smaller ones, and I tried a few different ones. If there was something that was about 2 inches smaller, and they're all about the same size, I think they're sort of universal size. An 18-volt battery doesn't, sort of can't make it much smaller than that, I guess, too. I've just learned something. Look at that. It's a bit embarrassing. I didn't know about that. My 18-volt DeWalt battery's got a battery tester on it. There's no real back of the light because it blocks a reflector. Gave it some thought. Couldn't work out a way to do it. That's what I got. So we're going with lipos anyway, because they're about the only ones with the power output and the voltage and the size. These are kind of expensive, yeah, if you want these. This is one of my luxury items. I don't have very many, but this is something. It's something I have. When I just pulled that off is this, right? This is an excellent sander. It's a quarter sheet sander. Poor quarter sheet sander's actually done a bit of work. Oh yeah, rub back that door, that's right. Just had my Gucci handbag. Don't even have one of them. But this quarter sheet sander is a really good thing, except you can't buy quarter sheet pads. You've actually got to fold up sand and pads or buy wide sheets and cut it to length. But pretty big fan of this. It's DeWalt, so it's crazy overkill for me. But quarter sheet sand is the way to go rather than a round one. Cheap to run because you just use sandpaper. It's not a bad thing. Anyway, that's about it. The only real, and James Perkins didn't wake up anyway. James B didn't wake up. He says, wake me up, and I forgot all about it. But waking him up's not going to be much good anyway from here. You can say, wake up, James, but it just doesn't happen. I'm seriously thinking about those little ball universals for here. Something with a ball like that would be really nice, and a couple of cups. Even like screw-in adjustable cups. And some fairly fine tolerances so that it actually drives on the side pieces rather than on the ball, and the ball's just for friction. Take care, Stuart. buy the cells and make a battery pack. That's another option too. That's happening. But honestly, lipos are good, and if we need to swap one out, we can just pull one out and put another one in if we've got one charged. Anyway, and they've got good plugs and stuff on them, and by the time you buy the plugs and the batteries and make them up, they ain't any cheaper. So, Dancing with Avex, thanks, nice launch. Still working out how to make this here drive from here. And I'm looking, these 3D printed, and I've already showed them this stream. I dropped one. I've got no light in here. We'll turn the light back on. Don't know if that helps. There it is. Found it. Sorry, guys. Disorganised. But this is totally blown out because it's white. But this is a pretty nice design because there's no wobble in it. And it travels nicely. And it's also pretty strong. Really kind of like these. If I could blow one up and print it out as something decent, maybe that's an option. Or if I could think of a way to actually machine them so that they work. This is basically just a ball sandwiched between two. Gosh, lights. Go over here where you can see it. Don't know if you can. It's a ball sandwiched between two 45-degree cheeks there like that. And the other one's just two 45-degree cheeks to match with cups in them. And they just clip together. Sorry about this, you're going to get seasick, but they just pop together like that. That's not a bad thing. There's not very much backlash in it. There's less backlash than the Universals I had. And I think they're pretty strong. And I'm seriously thinking about this. Right? Anyway. Probably did. I haven't watched Joe Pye since the war with... That's terrible, really, because I know I'm missing out. But Obstinate Me hasn't watched Joe Pye since the war with Gwen Dunky, which is terrible. But there's a confession. I have to measure them up, Dan and Adam. I have given it some thought. But we're not locked in stone yet. I'm just buying one bit at a time as I can. And batteries are sort of next. So we're going to have to work something out. If we could make something up, that'd be really nice. What I'd like is something with basically a cable, and whether it's a balanced charge or whatever. Won't need to be balanced, but a cable sticking out to charge them. And in a box with some sort of adjustment on here for the light, so that we could get it somewhere near focus between the mirror and the lens. Yeah, Joe's awesome, and he's a nice guy. It's just, I don't know, he's a bit hard to read. I also don't watch Mr. Pete much now he gets old. That's another big confession. Anyway, changed my mind on that one. So take care, Bill. I don't know whether your computer's gone all glitchy or you have, but hope you get better soon. I'm going to go anyway. We're an hour and 15. This has been a pretty long stream. Really appreciate you guys tuning in. Awesome to catch up with you all, see what everyone's doing. Well, I haven't asked what anyone's doing. I know Bill's working on plastic models, and I know Team Biscuit's probably doing the same. I know Dan's working on a secret squirrel project, and he's away at work too. And the phones, we're working on the phones as well. I actually did deliver the phones this time, which was pretty poor because I forgot them the first time. Oh, also on Sunday, another thing I did this weekend is I went to Dan's and back. Gosh, I forgot about that. So it hasn't been totally lost. I did 500 kilometres in the van and went to Dan's and dropped off the flywheel for the portable and did some sorting out and cleaning up and chores and things and come home. That was another thing we did. Anyway, just for the record. It's not like I've sat around and done nothing, I guess. Anyway, I'm out. Thanks, guys. And be kind to each other. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Do what you like with that. I don't know, my subscription list isn't really growing very much, but I'm not actually adding content. Really appreciate you guys watching though, because it's a few dollars every month too. You putting up with the ads, so forth, so on. And that's about it. I'm out. So catch ya.